Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to JOECMDRAWZ. Welcome back to a new video. As you can see on screen, we've got some sprites there. I've been working on this project for about a week now or more. I really like the game's Mother 3, Earthbound, whatever you want to call it. And I really wanted to make my own sprites. I really like the pixel art style. I really love the art style of the games, and I just wanted to do this just for some fun. So let's just jump right into the process. Okay, so to kick things off with a little bit of backstory for how this project actually came about, or how I really got kind of like inspired to do this project. I watched a video a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago. I can't remember exactly the time frame, but I really like Super Eye Patch Wolf. I think he does some really cool content, and I really like his take on things. And I saw his video on how Mother 3 breaks you down, and I really enjoyed that video. I thought it was a really good video, and he inspired me. I was like, I really like Earthbound and Mother 3 already, and he only really convinced me that I really should go back and play these games, or at least go and experience them, especially Mother 3, which I've never actually gotten to play, as a lot of people haven't, as it's mainly a Japanese exclusive, isn't it? I know there is like a fan translation, which I think he used footage of that in his video to show off the game, so he could actually read what was being said. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'd really like to play that. And I thought instead, why not I just use this opportunity to improve again. Try and improve my pixel art skills and create some Earthbound / Mother 3 sprites. And here's the kind of like fruits of my labor, I guess. I've got around about 20 plus sprites, as I said in the intro. These are all just various kind of like sprites that I've kind of made up. I used a couple of websites to kind of get inspired from. I used this website called the Spriters Resource. Spritersresource.com to find basically all of the Mother 3 sprites, and I used that as a reference. I looked at how the characters were designed, I looked at the pixel art, looked at the colours, and I kind of like took inspiration from that, and I went from there. I also used a random face generator website. I'll leave a link to both of these websites in the description so you can have a look at them for yourself. But I basically used that to basically just randomly generate faces, and then I tried to basically use that to then turn them faces into pixel art. And that's a bit of a weird roundabout process, but I actually kind of enjoyed the challenge actually. So why don't I just take you through these sprites. So the first one here, this little kid, he's kind of like the Ness, the Lucas of this kind of like spin-off or maybe sequel or whatever you want to call it. I'll call it a spin-off for now, but yeah, he's like the spin-off main character. I haven't got a name for him yet, so if anybody wants to name any of these characters in the comments or kind of like whatever you want to do, I'm more than okay with that. You know, I haven't come up with a name for them. I just really want to design them, so you know, more than welcome to do that. But this, like I said, this is like your Ness, your Lucas kind of like main character. He's got this kind of cool like orange shirt with his little belt buckle, his little black jacket, and his little like blue jeans here with his sneakers, or shoes or whatever he's wearing. And he's got these weird like little tufty hair. It's kind of like a mix between Lucas and Klaus. But yeah, I did him, and I was like, I really like this style, actually. I really like working in this kind of like super condensed Game Boy style. So I was really happy with him, so I just left him for a while, and then just kind of kept moving on to doing more characters. Next to him here is, I'm gonna say this is his sister. She's got this yellow sundress on with this kind of like greenish wiggly pattern on. She's got this green hair. And then she's got this cute little sun hat, or whatever you want to call it, straw hat on there with like a black ribbon. And I think it looks really good. I think there's a lot of really cool female characters in Earthbound and Mother 3 that I took inspiration from, and yeah, I think she came up pretty nicely. Next to her is I'm gonna call him the dad. This is like the father character. I see this kind of similarity between our main protagonist and the father. You know, he's more like a kind of like maybe more of like a country guy. You know, he's got this big old mustache, and he's got his red hair, and he's got his checkered flannel and his belt and his jeans and his work boots there, and you know, it's pretty cool. I think he looks really good. I think he really cools the character. yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. Next to him, I'm gonna say is like his our main character is like his second sister. Maybe this is the oldest sister. I used Kumatora as reference for this character. But yeah, most of it is actually a mix of the Mother 3 sprite kind of like art style and like my own kind of like pixel art style, my own decisions and kind of my own kind of like tastes mixed in with here, not just using them as references. But yeah, I'm really proud of this character as well. I think she looks pretty cool. She kind of like fits in with the rest of these characters, proportion wise as well. But yeah, I think she looks pretty cool. I love a lot of these sprites. I think they're really cool. They vary in size and shape and skin tone and age, and they would obviously vary in role in this kind of like spin-off game as well. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that quickly. Here's the next character. He's like a pretty cool old guy. I think I used Wes for him, kind of like inspiration, and he's actually one of the first characters I actually made using that random face generator that I mentioned earlier. You know, I basically just picked a couple of features from this website and then I randomized them, and he ended up being this kind of like really cool elderly sort of like Asian/Indian man, and I think that was really cool. And so I just kind of like made up an outfit for him, this kind of like blue shirt with a white collar, and he has like a white mustache with glasses and white hair, and also that random generator thing actually inspired his kind of like skin tone as well, this kind of like darkish skin tone that I thought maybe he could come from Dalam, you know, like how Pooh does in Earthbound. I thought this character could come from Dalam, and then the spin-off in this beginning town or whatever, he could be kind of like a healer or something, and give you kind of like healing spices or something, stuff that hails from Dalam, you know. So yeah, but I really like him. I believe I named him Old Man Kareem. Just trying to keep him with that kind of like Dalam theme / Indian theme. I think that's really cool. You know, maybe his I did come up with like a sort of a little backstory for him. Like his wife had died maybe 30 years ago. He'd moved to this exciting town like maybe 50 years ago, and he set up his own kind of like pharmaceutical shop or something. And now he just really likes to read a lot of books, and he likes to kind of like talk to people. He loves a good conversation, but because he's quite old and he lives alone, not many people want to go visit him. So it's totally optional, but in the game you would be able to go and talk to Old Man Kareem here, and give him a little bit of peace of mind, and maybe he'll give you some rewards. If I actually come to talk to if you actually come to talk to him, and maybe the game would reward you as well. But yeah. Next to him is just kind of like another generic random NPC characters, but again, he's another one that I used the random face generator for, and it gave me this pretty cool looking black guy. And I thought, that's really cool. I want to make like this kind of like gym dude bro kind of guy. Because I imagine in this like spin-off, this is like a really small town, maybe like a small country town or a small community, maybe almost like an Amish community maybe, but not exactly. And you could have these random NPCs you can talk to, and they'll give you really cool items. And so this kind of a gym dude bro guy, he'll kind of give you like kind of some protein powders or protein shakes or weights or something you can use. I think that'd be really cool. And you can come back to him and he'll keep giving you some if you can see like your levels improved, like how we can grind in Earthbound for levels, and maybe he'll see that you've improved and he'll give you more and more powerful kind of like supplements or something. I think that'd be really cool. And maybe he'll have like some more of his friends. Like maybe it's only him at the start, but then there's like 2 or 3 or 4 of them that'll show up, and they'll each giving you different ones that do different things, like boosting your attack, boosting your speed, boosting your endurance, or something like that. I think that's really cool. So I really like designing him. Like someone here, he's pretty much a late entry. This guy, I feel like this scientist kind of guy is more like a Dr. Andonuts kind of counterpart. I really enjoyed doing this guy. He's kind of got this cool kind of almost classical scientist balding head. He's got these cool glasses on here with his big red nose, almost kind of like Eggman from Sonic. He's got this big white beard here. He's kind of like in this kind of like pose, if you can see it, where he's kind of like hunched over with his arms behind his back, and he's going oh. Maybe that's his kind of personality, very cheerful, kind of maybe a little bit crazy, and maybe he can introduce you to some like new kind of attacks or items or consumables or kind of like things to add on to your character that he'll make for you or something. I really love his balding head and his big white eyebrows that just come off of his head here. I think that's really, really hilarious. But yeah, I really, really like this scientist guy. Like I said, he's more of like a Dr. Andonuts counterpart. You know, give you some cool stuff. Maybe some big bottle rockets or something, or mega bottle rockets or something. I don't know. I really like the way it turned out. I struggled a lot with this one, actually, fiddling around with it, and I still don't think it's perfect. Like, there's some imperfections here. Like, it's not perfectly symmetrical. Like, his ear here isn't the same as over here, so I'll need to fix that. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. I think it looks really, really cool. Okay, moving on. Next here I wanted to do an elderly woman character, as I've got, you know, a couple of elderly men here. So I thought I'd change it up, mix it up, and do kind of more of an elderly woman. So maybe this is like the common crazy cat lady, maybe, you know, the common crazy old lady. But yeah, she's got this really cool big head. Again, this is another character that was used with the random generator. I think it generated a pretty kind of old, kind of like ginger-haired woman. I thought that's pretty cool. Maybe she's like like I said, the crazy cat lady, but maybe you can get items like cat fur or something that could come in later for scaring off enemies or something. You know how weird Earthbound is. But yeah, I also wanted to create a challenge for myself and create this old woman as Zimmer frame. I thought, is that really possible to do in this kind of small resolution? And I think it looks pretty cool. I can clearly see it, you know, that she's holding a Zimmer frame. I don't know if anybody else can see it, but maybe that's just because it's my own work. But I really, really like the way this one turned out. I think this is one of the better sprites I've done. She's got kind of like this black dress on here with a white collar, and she's holding a Zimmer frame with some like white slippers there with the white pearl earrings, and she's kind of like got her eyes sort of halfway closed, and she's like, kind of that kind of stuff. Maybe you could have done something else to kind of make her hair a little bit more frizzy. Maybe make her look a little bit more crazy, I guess. But I still like the way it looked. You know, it turned out some of these can just be NPCs that you talk to in the random kind of like beginning town that won't necessarily do much. It's just fun to talk to them and get interactions out of them. As I do know that he mentioned in his video, Super Eye Patch Wolf, he mentioned that some characters you can just talk to, or certain actions you can do that won't really necessarily lead to anything, but except just a really good experience throughout the game. So I kind of want to do with some of these NPCs here. After this kind of like crazy cat lady, we've got these kind of creepy twins here. I've always wanted to do one of these kind of like type of characters where they're just kind of like twins and they're kind of creepy, almost kind of that shining creepy twins, you know, like I said, the twins in The Shining. They're kind of creepy and that kind of vibe. So I just kind of made these kind of twins. I just kind of made one and then copied them over, and everything, you know, like his hair here is on this side, but on this one it's flipped over here. These were also some of the first characters that had this almost kind of Simpson-y yellowish skin. I don't know why I really picked that. I've got my kind of limited colour palette up here, and I just kind of kept picking from that and making new colours where I really, really needed to. So it's not strictly following the Mother 3 colour palette, but it's very close, I would say. But yeah, I like these characters. They're pretty cool. You can just talk to these guys for some creepy kind of like experience. Yeah, in this small town. Next to them is a pretty cool pastor. You know, he's like a father, or a pastor, or a reverend. He's like one of them type of characters. He's kind of plain looking. He's again kind of bald. He's got this shining bald forehead. He's kind of looking a little bit sus with these kind of like side eye. He's got a big nose. He's got this like little scruffy beard here. And his like checkered shirt with his little I don't know what you could call them, like those collars that reverends or fathers have. I think that's really cool, and he could be kind of like the friendly priest or something that would kind of like heal you up or something if you go into a confessional or something like that. Like I said, thinking more in the vein of like a small Amish community. But yeah, next to him is just like another random NPC. But I do like kind of the varied proportions I've got in all of these characters. So, you know, this guy's kind of like a standard proportion. But then this guy, you know, look how big his head is. And his body, it's kind of like round and fat. And, you know, his legs are kind of skinny. So this would just be another one of these like random NPCs. Maybe he's kind of like the cranky neighbor or something. You know, he's got this, again, kind of almost like balding head, but like at the sides he's got this kind of like almost egg in a bun, like the friar kind of haircut. I think it's kind of funny. So that's him. Next to him is just kind of like a friendly shopkeep. you know, maybe this guy's hails from Dalam as well. I don't know. But again, he's kind of got this kind of like longish hair. This guy didn't. None of these came from random generated faces, because I just wanted to mix it up in my process. And I just want to clarify, this wasn't all in one sitting. This was over like I said, a couple of weeks. Just kind of like just diligently working on like maybe 1 or 2 characters a day. And I think that's more than healthy enough. Again, not all of these sprites are perfect. Like here on this side, it's not exactly perfect, so I'll have to fix that. But I still love the way that these sprites came out. Like this like guy's tall head with his big ears and his little like apron here. Maybe he's like the local shopkeep that you can talk to get maybe free or fresh produce if you kind of like just talk to him once in a day. Maybe in this spin-off you'll have kind of like a night and day cycle, and you can get like daily rewards from NPCs, and maybe he'll be the one of them that'll give you like a free apple or a free fruit or something like that. I think that'll be really, really cool. Yeah, so that's that character. Again, there's little imperfections on here, like here it's not exactly perfect, so I'll have to go back and fix that. But when you look at it from far away like this, I think it looks pretty cool. So that's the kind of like friendly shopkeep. Next to him up here, you might be thinking, what is that? Well, that, my friends, is a rhino beetle. I tried my hand at making a animalistic sprite, because at this point I'd made quite a few human sprites, and I wanted a kind of like character in the story or in this game or this spin-off that would be reminiscent of Boney, you know, Lucas's dog, or King, representative of Ness's dog. And I thought, well, what's an unusual pet? Because I don't want to do just like a generic pet, you know, like a cat or a dog or a pig, maybe if he's on a farm or whatever, or a bird. I wanted to do something weird, and so I wanted to give our main character here a weird pet, and so I gave him a rhino beetle that I nicknamed Hercules, and this would be your kind of like your pet beetle. I was thinking that Hercules could be kind of like as big as a dog maybe, but it'd be really, really friendly, and you could take him on as a companion in your party, and he'd be doing some really good physical damage. But yeah, I'm really, really proud of this sprite. Not only do I think it looks like a rhino beetle, but I think I've done pretty well to try and keep it in the Mother 3 kind of style, the Mother 3 proportions, without being too weird. I think it looks pretty cute as well. I like beetles. I like rhino beetles. I think they look pretty epic. Heracross is one of my favorite Pokemon, so I just want to incorporate something a little bit weird into this kind of like spin-off little project. But yeah, that's Hercules, the rhino beetle, your pet. But yeah, after that, here are some really weird sprites. Here I've just kind of got a little girl character in this kind of like cool little dress. I think that looks really, really nice. Kind of in the same age as these, like twin characters. Nothing much else to really say about her. Maybe she's a really just nice NPC to talk about, or to talk to. To talk to. God, I cannot talk today. Next to that down here is where we get some weird sprites. Again, another one of this yellowy skin kind of like characters. I don't know why I really like this. I just really, really do like it. But he's kind of like this big fat bully, almost like Nelson from Simpsons kind of vibe. Oh yeah, he's got like this red hair. He's got this big shit-eating grin. This like scowl on his face. And I thought maybe this guy could be like the first boss you fight, you know, to get out of the beginning town or something. You know, he's got these red shoes on here, his brown pants. He's kind of plain almost compared to some of the other sprites here, but I think he works perfectly. You know, maybe he's a bully that has bullied you for a while, and now, you know, you have to fight him. I think it's pretty cool. I really like the way he turned out. And then next to him is his 3 little lackeys, which are unique. Now, if you've been watching anime this season, and you know one of the most popular anime that's being airing right now, if anybody hasn't got it yet, it's Don't Bully Me, Miss Nagatoro, or Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, depending on what you've seen. I personally really, really, really like the not only the manga but the anime as well. I think it's really, really well done production. I like the voice acting, I like the music, I like everything about it. I think the characters are really, really fun, and I think the show's just really great all around. And so at the time I'd maybe watched an episode of Nagatoro, and I really wanted to, and I was in a really creative mood, and so I just wanted to try and incorporate those characters, those 3 main girls, into this kind of a little project here. So I've got Nagatoro-san here, if you can recognize her, with her little like hair clips here and a little earring or ear piercing there. Her darkish skin tone, you know, the white shirt and the skirt, and then her hair, and her kind of bare legs there with her like white shoes. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's pretty spot on. I think out of all three of them, I think this little Nagatoro sprite here is pretty much the closest I think I could actually get to in this style to her design. Oh yeah, got a little hair shine there and her eyes here. I think it looks pretty good. The shirt gave me a little bit of trouble trying to figure out how to represent that in such a small scale. But I think I managed to do that, and I think it looks really, really good. Next to her is Gamo-chan, which I think looks pretty cool. She's slightly taller. She's got this big, voluminous, kind of like orange hair. This gave me some trouble, I will say. It's kind of like an awkward shape, and obviously, like I said, I'm constrained to these kind of like pixel dimensions, and so I can't really put in all the detail that I want. So often I had to forgo some stuff. But I think it looks really, really good. You know, like a kind of like shitty smile, you know, her hair and her skirt and everything. It's slightly different to the Nagatoro one, but I think it looks really, really good. I've done my best to try and, you know, represent all three of these characters to the best of my pixel arting abilities, and I think it looks really, really good. So that's Gamo-chan, and then next to her is Yoshi, with a little cowlick there and her pigtails, and this one gave me the most trouble, I think, because, you know, of the skin tones here and the limited color palette and stuff like that, and trying to make it match the other two here, and trying to also make them match the rest of the sprites here. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but I like them. I think they look pretty cool. I think I've done a pretty good job on them. You know, let me know if you noticed them before I mentioned them, maybe in the intro or something, but I really like them. And on Gamo-chan there, and on Yoshi, I'll give him the white tights and the dark ones there. And I think they look really, really good. So that's them. That's my little Nagatoro reference in this little project. And they'll be kind of like the bullies, kind of like his little lackeys. They'll block your path or something, so you're forced to go and fight him. Stuff like that. They won't be like fightable NPCs, but they would kind of like have their little quirks from the show. So maybe this one that represents Nagatoro could have like a little cat calling kind of like face or something in a portrait or something. I think that'd be really fun. Next to them is this kind of mysterious detective looking guy. Maybe he's like a constant character, almost kind of like Looker in Pokemon. I think that'd be really, really fun. I really enjoyed designing this guy. I don't think his proportions match up very well, but I do like his big brown coat, and he's got like these little straps on there, and his hands are in his pocket, and you know, he's got his little bucket hat or his fedora down there. And his big nose, and he looks pretty mysterious, and maybe he follows you throughout the game and maybe helps you, passes you information, tips and stuff, tips on bosses and whatever. But yeah, I like his big puffed up collars. You know, I like my mysterious kind of like cool detectives with the big popped up collars. I think they look pretty cool. So yeah, I really liked his design. I really like doing him. And then finally, we got this character down here. I think this guy could be like the local drunk or something. You know, he's got this big frizzy afro. He's got this dishevelled kind of looking beard. This wide-eyed stare. You know, his kind of a grey suit. Maybe some sort of like dishevelled businessman. Maybe it's maybe just rolled into this town maybe a few years ago and just kind of like never left or something like that. But yeah. I really, really like all of these sprites. I think I did a pretty good job on all of them. I think they're all pretty unique with different skin tones, different proportions, different ages. And I took a lot, like I said, took a lot of inspiration from Mother 3. But yeah, I think the sprites that I'm most proud of is probably our main character, looking more like I said, Ness and Lucas. Probably like the kind of like Dr. Anonuts kind of counterpart. Obviously Hercules the Beetle. Probably these twins, I think they look pretty cool. And then obviously all the Nagatoro references there, I think also my favourite as well. So it's just a really nice roster of characters that could be for a starting town. I did try and come up with some unique locations for this spin-off slash kind of like sequel to Mother 3. I thought maybe you could start off in Tringletown, you know, because in Earthbound you have kind of like what's it called, Forside, you've got Threed, you know, got Toothen, you've got Onnet, you know, so obviously the same is 1, 2 and 3, and then obviously so I wanted to play on that theme, so I thought you could, the theme for this one could be like shapes, and so you start off in Tringle Town, obviously reference to triangles, and then you could, the next town you could come over to could be squared and, stuff like that, and then maybe you need to take a boat to get to Crescent Isle, or something, and then Star City or something like that. Just something off the top of my head right now, but that's kind of like what the theme would be. So working with shapes, kind of playing off what Earthbound did with numbers, and then using that as a jumping off point. But yeah, I also thought about like maybe our main character's mother's already dead. She's been dead for a while, and you've had to grow up with your two sisters and your kind of not so great father. And maybe your mission for this game is to basically explore the world. Really, there's not really any world-ending stuff that Porky's doing. Maybe it would build on the lore of Mother 3, and so he's sealed away in his little capsule that he is at the end of that game, and maybe there really isn't any kind of like major conflict. Maybe, I don't know, I haven't designed any other characters that could maybe do that, but I thought maybe you're just trapped in this small town and you want to get away and you want to explore the world, and characters like your father are hesitant, maybe your sister's hesitant as well, but maybe they support you, and you got this bully that wants to prevent you, and all these other characters that are very close. It's a tight-knit community that doesn't want anybody to leave and stuff like that, because it'll shift the balance of it, and maybe they'll bring something back that'll ruin their ecosystem or something like that. But yeah, I also thought about in this spin-off, how Ness and Lux have psychic powers. Maybe our main character here, maybe he doesn't have psychic powers normally, like special psychic powers, but he has like psychic powers that augment his muscles, making him more physically inclined, and other characters can increase their physical abilities or attributes. Maybe his sisters have some psychokinetic powers as well, like hydrokinesis or fluorokinesis, controlling water and plants, stuff like that, trying to make it a little bit more unique, a little bit more interesting. Maybe Old Man Kareem here can come along with you and be with your healer. I think that'd be really interesting. Our kind of Dr. Andonut's counterpart here can be some pretty cool scientific technology to battle really strong enemies, and obviously, like I said, you can take Hercules, the Rhino Beetle, along there with you for some good physical backup, stuff like that. I think that'd be really, really fun. But yeah, whew. I know that was a bit long-winded, but yeah, I just wanted to get through all of these sprites. As I said, there was about 20 plus sprites here, maybe 22, 23 sprites that I spent a long time working on, and that I'm really, really proud of, that I just really, really wanted to show off to everybody, and let everybody take it what they want from it. And like I said, come up with a storyline if you want in the comments, give names to all these characters if you want. That's fine, I just want to show what I really, really like doing and what I'm passionate about. And yeah, and I do think this has really, really helped my pixel art improvement and my pixel arting skills. And yeah, I'm really, really chuffed with these Nagatoro references here. I think I did a really good job. But let me know in the comments. So yeah, that's my kind of like little project into Mother 3, kind of creating my own Mother 3 sprites. I might do this for some other games, like I might make my own Undertale sprites. I think that'd be really fun to do, stuff like that. So give me some suggestions in the comments. But if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Hey there, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share my work around. I'll see you next time.